Have you noticed that there's videos that go up on Facebook or YouTube and they're there one day? You might share them with a friend, or maybe they're shared with you, and all of a sudden they're down the next day when you go to look for it. On April 15th, a story broke that disclosed the government's intent to start censoring information. They intended to put legislation in place that would make it an offense to spread so-called misinformation on COVID-19. This made many of you outraged, and I heard from thousands of Canadians to that extent. Now, it's right that this made you upset, because it's your freedom, it's your charter right as a Canadian citizen. After all, who gets to decide what is categorized as false information or misinformation versus accurate information? I mean, who ultimately is the information czar? Well, the Government of Canada, of course. Last night at Industry Committee on May 11th, the Heritage Minister said this. He said that he's going ahead with what he's calling an emergency fund. And as a part of this is $3.5 million that is going to be used to, and I quote, combat false and misleading COVID-19 information. No legislation was passed, no discussion was had, no debate took place in the House of Commons. Therefore, no accountability. Canada, we need you to stand up for your freedom. It's a severe overreach of government authority. It's a severe overreach of power. I've heard from, like I said, tens of thousands of you that this is not okay. Since when is it acceptable for the government to censor the information that Canadians should and should not have? This is not democracy, and this does not respect the rights of every single Canadian across this country. No one likes misinformation. That's fact. But why should the government decide what counts and what doesn't, what's in and what's out? Free speech is part of a free society. It's how we share ideas. It's how we engage in creativity. It's how we advance. When did we become afraid of robust discussions? When did we become incapable of being able to disagree without being disagreeable? Since when did these things become eradicated from Canadian social fabric? What's wrong with evaluating multiple points of view? After all, we know that it leads to greater advancement, we know that it leads to innovation, and we know that it leads to greater productivity, which, quite frankly, in Canada is suffering right now. Free speech must be defended. It is a part of our Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. It is your right. Justin Trudeau and the Liberal government must immediately stop censoring the information that we have available to us. I'm asking you to use your voice and to speak up. I'm asking you to take 1 minute to send one sentence to the Heritage Minister and ask him to back down. Tell him to respect your freedom. Then share this video with your neighbors, your friends, your coworkers, any Canadian that you can think of. We need to take action. Your freedom, it matters. We must take a stand together, Canada. Please speak up, please speak out, please take action.